what I wish they had told me about therapy and they didn't tell me about therapy is that you have to do the work outside of therapy and coaching just as much as you do the work inside therapy and coaching. And so, welcome back to another opportunity to learn, unlearn, grow, and evolve together. And I bring this idea to you, I bring these practices to you that we're going to jump into today because I look back and I think, well, if I had known these when I started therapy, my whole experience of therapy would be much less expensive, much quicker, and I would arrive at my results that much faster. And I don't have any regret about my own personal healing journey, of course. And I would also love to bring these principles that I have learned in the past 9 years, 8 years to whoever is maybe beginning their journey or in the middle of their journey now so that you can really uncover what you want. And so the practices today are really practices that I have learned and that have helped me tremendously. And the first practice is being able to walk into therapy, being able to walk into coaching, having a little bit of a distinction between who you truly are underneath, what is important to you, and the patterns, the habits, the anxieties that are taking away from your quality of life. And the reason that this consciousness, this distinction is really important is because it allows us to walk into that therapy session, into that coaching session, not identified with the patterns that are bringing us there in the first place. And Nicole Lepera, also known as the holistic psychologist on Instagram, she talks about how she really finds that the most work that is being done, or the work that is leading to the results for the client the fastest, happen once the client is really in a place of being conscious of the differences between themselves and the other patterns that are at play. Specifically because it allows you space to heal. It allows you space to just witness what is happening in your experience without getting tied into it. And so if you've watched my channel before, I'm going to bring up a couple practices that really help in breeding this consciousness that are really helpful to do while you're going to therapy or while you're doing coaching so that you can get even more out of your coaching, and it just helps level us up, heal in a much smoother and even quicker way. So that first practice, I mention it all the time because it has changed my life significantly, that is meditation. Meditation is a direct practice of recognizing ourselves within our internal world and the difference between that core self and all the emotions, thoughts, and patterns and habits that are at play that might distract us from our core selves. And being able to witness that is the consciousness that we're breeding. The second one, and you could watch my videos on meditation here. I'll put one up here that has really been able to improve my meditation practice. The second one is yoga. And yoga is another practice where we are breeding consciousness through movement. And I like to call yoga, and some people might disagree with me, but I like to call yoga a moving meditation because it is helping us become aware of our internal state and our core self versus those patterns and those emotions while in motion, which is really nice to be working with the energies that are at play within our experience and recognize those differences of who we are versus our subconscious or our conditioned self while we're in this practice. So these are just two practices that even Nicole Lepera talks about in his book, How to Do the Work, that help breed consciousness, that help doing the therapy and doing the coaching be that much more rewarding and getting that much more out of it since you are investing so much time and money in it. So you want what you want, and you want to get there really the quickest way that you can because you want that high quality of life. Okay, so that is the first thing, is breeding consciousness. Now, the second piece that is talked about frequently within coaching or is talked about frequently within therapy and just in general now, as we're in a much more mental health conscious world, which is beautiful, is the difference between self-awareness and embodiment. And this is a really important difference to be aware of because it can help us recognize where we are at in the healing journey. When we are aware of what our reality is and what we want, we have self-awareness, and we think that just because we're self-aware that we should be able to move past these patterns or move past the anxiety that we're experiencing. That would seem obvious, and that's what I thought. But actually, there's self-awareness and then there is embodiment. And embodiment is going from that place of being intellectually aware of what we want and what is happening within our experience, the different patterns that are holding us back, the different things in our lives that need a little bit of shifting or changing up. We might know it intellectually, but embodiment is really realizing it. It is bringing it out of the intellectual and bringing it into the reality. So it's making your vision, your ideas for what can be a reality. It's embodying it. It's making it real. And I want to use this example of the actor versus the role that the actor is playing. Because I think that this provides a really good example of the difference between self-awareness, aka the actor, versus embodiment, the role. So the actor, let's just say Will Smith, for example. Will Smith is an actor. That's him. That's who he is. That's what he does. And he's aware of himself, right? He is the actor. And then when he needs to learn a role for a movie, when he needs to learn a part or a character for a movie, he becomes aware of the different mindset of that character. He becomes aware of the different patterns of that character. He becomes aware of the way, the lifestyle that that character might be living. And so he slowly, after being self-aware of what that role needs, he slowly does the practices, he does the work as the actor to really be that role within the movie. And so it's the process of going from aware of what that role needs, of who he needs to be for that part in that movie, and then actually putting in the work to become that character, to become that role, and make that the reality for this movie. And that is a really good, for me at least, a really good example of understanding self-awareness is one thing and embodiment is another thing. And embodiment is really where we're all moving within therapy, within coaching, because we're embodying that new vision that we have for ourselves and the new quality of life, that new lifestyle that we have for ourselves. And these are just two things that I wish, again, that I knew going into therapy, because they would have made the whole process that much smoother, that much more impactful. And that I want to share with anybody who thinks that they could benefit as well, so that you can really bring your visions to life and be in your core self, your authentic, conscious self, where the confidence, the joy, the happiness, and the fulfillment is, instead of being lost in the patterns that might lead to anxiety that exist in the conditioned self or the subconscious self. And with that in mind, every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, I hold a meditation, group meditation online. And this is an opportunity for like-minded people to get together, to learn about the mind, to learn about the body, and then to go into an actual guided meditation held by yours truly. And then we open up the space to talk, to share, and to connect with each other. It's a beautiful way to start Sunday. It's a beautiful way to start the week. And the last thing that I'll mention here is that I am now offering one-on-one coaching, which I know you're probably tired of hearing, but I'm just very excited to be offering this now, because I want to do it for so many years. And now we get to really bring all these things that we talk about into a personalized approach, so that you can get what you want the way that you want to get it. So I look forward to seeing you in the comments down below. I look forward to seeing you maybe on Instagram if you want to have a private conversation. All the links are down below to check out the books and all the meditation, the coaching that we talked about. I will see you very soon, whether through social media or right here with the next video. Much, much, much love.